Hmm. Thank you, Angel. So let's start off. So, okay, everything's good to go. Right, welcome to Trading Buddy. So, it's going to come to the end of the week, and this week seems to be raining throughout the week. Yeah, Singapore we have a few areas that is flooded. Yeah, I even saw one picture whereby there's this cyclist who went to Bukit Timah cycle, and then I think it was the flooded area came up to waist deep. So in the end, he has to raise his bike. Yeah, such is the life of cyclists. Yeah, the bicycle is much more precious than anything. But then kind of thing again, some bicycles are really expensive. Yeah, and I know of some road bikes that is in excess of about over $10,000. Yeah, so I can't blame them for actually placing a higher regard to their bicycles. Yeah, I think the most expensive one that I had was Brompton, which is about 3.2. Yeah, 3.2K. Yeah, I think that's the most I'll actually go for a bike, notwithstanding all the other modification that I might have. Oh well, I think I'm showing the wrong charts. All right, so let's have some chart updates. Yep. So I've just actually placed Aussie Yen. So yesterday I was actually looking for reversal of the Aussie and the Euro. Yeah, so you can see that Aussie Yen on the daily chart, still a very nice downtrend. I think I've been saying that for ages. Came to previous low, so I'm just looking to trade it back down. Yeah, so this is a very, I would say a very classic break and retest sort of trade. Yeah, so the trend is detected based on D1 daily time frame, and I'm just entering based on H4. And so you can see that the prior steps, this will actually be a good bar to trade. Let me blow it up. Yeah, so this will actually be the perfect bar to actually for me to jump in. But this bar actually happens at about, I think, 1 a.m. Yeah, so at the time, I wasn't asleep yet, just that I was watching television, drama. Yeah, Good Doctor is rather nice. You should actually try to watch it, Good Doctor, off Netflix. Then I didn't really catch this trade. If I caught it, I think I'll be one really happy trader. Now, usually for such a small price actions, right? If I do ever trade it, then I will actually allow myself to be greedy instead of going for 3:1, because really the 3:1 function is to make sure I grab profit before the next, not make sure, but when price travel, I hope to grab my TP before it breaks the last low. No doubt, when price is in a trend, usually it should break the last low, but a 3:1 or 2:1 usually will ensure that I grab my profits. Yeah. Really, it serves two functions, because if it doesn't break the last low, then price is in a range, and I should still be grabbing my take profits. Theoretically, it should work that way. Yeah. But if I'm happen to be trading a small bar, then I don't see any reason why I should not go for higher than 3:1, like 5:1, 6:1. Yeah. So for a small bar, for price to actually travel within a trend to hit this area, if I'm right, it should happen that way, which sometimes it did. Again, I have to be responsible to the listeners. I have to emphasize that my win rate has never been high. Yeah, it has always been consistently below 40%. Yeah, hence that's the primary reason why I go for higher risk to rewards. Yeah, because if my win rate is low, then I have to compensate by having higher risk to rewards. That's why I consistently aim for trades that are higher for 3:1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. And yeah, so that's the primary, just to explain to you all my train of thoughts. But since I'm trading the current candle now, let me get rid of that. Yeah, so you can see that I'm trading actually the entire range. Then I have to go for lesser than those higher wins. Yeah, so a 3:1 actually makes sense for now, not a 5 or 4:1. I don't really aim for price to actually break. Yeah, so long as I can get my TP, my 3:1 before the next low, I'm usually quite happy. So that's the Aussie Yen trade which I placed. Let's hope I will score a winner. I have to replace the zone just in case I forgot. All right, So again, this will be a correlated trade, Euro Aussie. I'm in this trade since yesterday, and price is just not really going anywhere. In fact, I nearly got knocked out. So let's hope that I'll have, no, sorry. In fact, I actually got knocked out of this trade. Yeah, I actually got knocked out of this trade. Not that. I actually traded this far. I think. No, wasn't that far. Sorry. I traded this bar. Yeah. So I got knocked out, and then now I'm re-entering. My take profit is still the same level. Yeah. So I do have this tendency that if I do knock out in the trade and I still have faith in that trade, I will still re-enter. Yeah. So let's see how this turns out. So one stop loss for Euro Aussie, boo to me. Let's hope that this subsequent trade will actually get me my winner. Dollar trade has been this trade since yesterday or the day before. Price is really not going anywhere. I'll keep it as it is. I don't have any further intention to actually do anything. Now, silver for this trade, my very first trade, I already exited that trade. So in total, it was a break-even trade for me. Yeah, so I got my 1:1 at silver when I decided to exit because my TP was here. So if you recall yesterday, I did say that I will actually re-enter, which I did. So it was a scale in over here, over this bullish bar, which I actually entered, and then the subsequent bar actually knocked me out, which I'm still okay. But the moment I see this happening, I'm like, all right, let's shift my stop loss higher. And price did actually reverse and knock me out. Yeah. So total for my silver trade endeavor, which is on my main account, placed two trades. I should summarize. I placed two trades. First trade I got 1:1. Second trade immediately I got stop loss. So all in all, it was a break-even trade for me. I did actually make money from this trade. In fact, to be really calculative, I actually lose on spread, which is not a big deal. It's just the cost of doing business. So there you go, silver. Since nothing fantastic happened on this, I'll go to Swiss yen later. Odd Swiss, I'm still waiting for Aussie Swiss to actually have a breakdown. Yeah, if it does, I'll be happy to jump in. Then again, once I do that, I'll be very mindful that I'm actually trading odds. Aussie Yen, I'm trading Euro odds, and then I'll be trading Aussie Swiss. Yeah, so this will be the max that actually I will allow myself to trade Aussie anymore. Yeah, because I'm heavily leaning on Aussie. Yeah, so if something goes wrong on Aussie, I will actually lose out 3% straight away. Yeah, psychologically, that's the most I can sustain. That's on psychological part. There's nothing wrong with the strategy, but anything more, I will probably need to buy a huge pint of ice cream just to make myself feel better. Yeah. So again, I have to deal with my own psychology. I think I've hardened nerves, but anything more than 3%, it does start to feel a bit painful. So yep. So this is something that as traders, more or less you'll have to deal with this kind of thing. Euro Yen. Yeah, I was actually waiting for Euro Yen. That's also one of the pair whereby yesterday I spotted waiting for Euro Yen to actually reverse in this area. It seems like it did not. It actually closed quite bullishly above. So I'll just remove this pair. Buy Euro Yen. Yeah, so all in all, I don't have actually anything new particularly today. Yeah. So let's just have a look at yesterday's trade Swiss Yen. Now, I didn't trade Swiss Yen yesterday. So this was done, like I mentioned, the analysis was done because Inslee was in. So I also wanted to hear a suggestion and also give my 0.5 cents worth of opinion whether I think Swiss Yen will actually rally. Yeah, which it did. Bear in mind, this was a 15-minute chart. So it's actually very much random in a way. Yeah, so it did rally and then price fell. Yeah. So all in all, I just wanted to say that my analysis was right at that point of time. Now, for a lower time frame, put it this way. I wouldn't say my analysis skill is good on the lower time frame because my opinion is that on the lower time frame, I'm actually dancing very much with luck. Yeah, it's just the realm of the algos. Yeah, So as human trader, I just wanted to be a bit more systematic. So luck was on my side at that point of putting in this analysis. That's about it. Yeah, I wouldn't actually pin it down to skill. Now, I think last week or 2 weeks back, Alexis was trying to paper trade a scalping strategy. Yeah, so I'm actually doing the same thing. I'm actually doing paper scalping, paper trading. Yeah, so this is one of the ways that I just have some how do I put it, cheap thrill out in the market. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really do anything to my trading account. It's just that emotionally I just feel happy about it. That's about it. That's about it. Yeah. Now I'm going to share something with you all, which actually caught me by surprise. Wasn't a strategy related stuff, but I don't know how many of you actually watched my Tuesday show, Optional Forex. Let me get it. Yeah. So this week, last Tuesday, I did a candlestick analysis. Yeah. So 2 weeks back, I actually did it based on shooting star hammer. So that was I also shared during Trading Buddy. So then this week, I actually did the price action on engulfing bar. Yeah, so bearish engulfing bar, bullish engulfing bar. So the way that I did it was I have a simple trend filter, so I use the half trend filter. And then if the corresponding, so half trend, if it's a bullish trend and there's a bullish engulfing body that pops up, I will take the trade. So I did this back test. Now, if you're interested in this indicator, you can actually refer to the show. Usually they have the link up, which I will actually put the indicator on my Gmail, Google Drive. Yeah, you can download from there. Now, one thing which I find interesting is that for this particular indicator, which I didn't totally I didn't expect it, is that the bullish and bearish engulfing pattern, right, is based on the body. It's not based on the traditional engulfing pattern, which is based on so when it engulfs, right, in the traditional pattern, the body needs to actually engulf the high and the low. But not so much of the low. If it's a bullish one, it actually needs to engulf the high for a bullish one. So if it's a bearish one, it needs to engulf the low. So that's the traditional bullish and bearish engulfing candlesticks that most people learn. Yeah, I think it's starting from this year. For the new wave rider, we actually go on we just focus on the body itself. Now, I thought that's only unique, sort of unique to ADW since they started. So I actually did this testing. Now, what caught me by surprise was this. Yeah. So most of you will know that I place quite a lot of emphasis on trading high test, low test bar. Yeah, so on the left column over here, this is with the trend filter. And on the right column over here, this is without a trend filter. So as long as the candlestick appears, we just take it, right? So for a high test and low test bar with a trend filter, the win rate is actually pretty good. Not the win rate, sorry. The results actually came back pretty good. Now, for a engulfing patterns, what caught me by surprise was over the same number of trades, 300 trades. That means each pair I counted for about 20. The engulfing pattern actually didn't came back in a fulfilling way. It was profitable at the end of the day. It was. But imagine this, out of 300 trades, right? It came back only for 46% winner and 24% winner. By any yardstick or measure, I don't think that's actually a good result. Comparatively to a test bar or shooting star, out of 300 trades, it came back 72% and 150%. Yeah, so aiming for 2R and 4R respectively. So this begs the question that, of course, one thing that I suspect is that for engulfing bodies, it might not work well with that particular trend filter that I use. That can be that can be one of the reasons. Because the particular trend filter that I use doesn't allow for deep retracement. Anything that went deeper, you can see that the trend filter actually changes color. So that might actually explain why the engulfing body pattern didn't do well on my backtesting. But still, it was kind of disappointing. Yeah. But that's not the primary thing that I wanted to highlight. I mean, engulfing body by itself is still tradable. But what I wanted to highlight was this. Without a trend filter, right? Without a trend filter, the engulfing body actually fares better compared to a high test, low test. The engulfing body actually came back with an 80% winner compared to just high test, low test, it came back only 15% winner. So this actually draws my conclusion to one thing. Because there's without trend filter, so most of the time, I will be catching reversals instead. So this side I have 300 trades. This side I have 600 trades. So the data on the right side is actually much more accurate, simply because I have a higher number of trades. So one thing that for those of you who are out there trading reversals, maybe you can think of it this way. If you want to trade reversal, possibly a engulfing pattern actually works better than a high test or low test bar. In order for a high test or low test bar to work, your technical analysis possibly need to be that much tighter, or your entry needs to be much more stricter. Yeah. And an engulfing pattern in the testing, the engulfing pattern actually works better. So it can be interpreted as for reversals, it's better to actually trade this rather than high test, low test bar. Yeah, so that's the only conclusion that I can draw on my side. Yeah, so if you look at this result, if you're able to draw any other conclusion, please feel free to share it. Or if you don't understand what I've just been rambling on for the past 15 minutes, then, oh well, forget it. This is the way how I learn Forex. I draw data analysis from this figure. Yeah, not just simply looking at chart alone. So okay, with that, I see that Alexis is in. Alexis.
Hello, hello.
All right. Yeah. So I was just sharing with them the different characteristics, the results which I gathered.
Yeah, I was in for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do I have today?
Anyway, for this,
sorry? No, I was going to ask you to look at the pound kiwi. Can you tell me where it's going?
Yeah, I thought we look at euro kiwi and pound kiwi.
Yeah, but like pound kiwi, I'm considering whether or not I should scale in, but it just looks like a question mark. So I'm just going to ask the technical expert.
I think this was what let me see if I recall. This was what I was seeing on the weekly time frame and on daily chart. It's really in the middle of nowhere, so I wouldn't really want to trade here because I recall.
I know, right?
You're trading somewhere up here the other day.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think if it's worth it scaling down to the bottom of the square.
Usually for the rare times that I do range trading, if I go to short, I'll prefer the candlesticks to be up here so that it has ample space to go below. If I'm going to long, then I'll prefer the candlesticks to be here. In this case, I'm quite reluctant to say to go short.
That is also true. So I might have made a mistake. But it's not I didn't break a rule. I mean, it was a I think I kind of saw I was going to go to get in the same direction as the wave rider rule, but I think I saw the wrong candle. So
but then again, it's hard to use my analysis for yours because my analysis is catered to the kind of risk to reward that I'm aiming for. Whereas yours is faster risk to reward. So
yeah, I think it's also because I kind of can see the market not going there already. So I'm just trying to get, trying to tell myself it's okay. Yeah, because unfortunately I am still holding a short position from the upside, but I accidentally, okay, I won't say accidentally, I wanted to place another short entry and I did in the morning, okay, because I tried to wake up slightly earlier, but that didn't turn out and market is now above my entry. So I'm a little bit grumpy because like, I'm trying to look at it and see why did I enter this again? You know, so it's like a 50-50 kind of feeling. I mean, and now my trade management is, should I just leave it to hit stop loss, or should I just close it and not bother about it anymore? So we'll see. We'll see. It's just now at a very weird place, the pound kiwi. So I'm just going to leave it. But I kind of think that instead of going short, this might reverse back up to weekly pivot, or one of the top part of the range. So yeah, so it is again a consideration of whether or not this is the time to go in. But that aside, okay, let's look at a couple of hourly time frames and we'll see what we have. Okay, I've got a couple of pairs on the cards. Now, let me just go through. I'm just going to go from the top. Okay, I am looking at Aussie Swiss just because it has a very nice cyclical setup, but then momentum seems to be a bit lost today, where we can actually see that prices has come back and retested the daily pivot like 3 times already. So I suspect that this might be, that the Aussie has no longer any legs up. So what I'm looking for, I'm just going to pop to the daily time frame. What I'm looking for is to see whether I got any RSI indicator. Now, I don't really have a RSI tool, and I only have a Williams percentage range 4 that hit the top part of this level. So while I am expecting a short position, I don't think now is the time. I am still watching out for it. Can I take it on the short? I can't take a short on any of my strategies. So unfortunately, I just have to watch it. So hopefully tomorrow daily pivot will come down and then I can find my short position there. But until then, it's still on my watch list for this one. Aussie Yen, I took a long position yesterday, just very nice technical setup. And I think today, again, my question is, will the long position hold? So if I look at the, let me go to the Aussie Yen. When I look at the daily time frame, let me remove this so it's not covering. Okay, when I look at the daily time frame, right, I do see that there is a potential for it to go back up long, but I'm also very aware that we are kind of trading on some kind of a downward channel in a sense, right? So is this a retracement or is this a move back long? Now, as I am bearish on the Aussie, I might not want to hold this trade too long because I think there is a lot more downside on Aussie. This is the weekly time frame, and you can see that there is quite a bit of resistance level, maybe somewhere around here. So we are not there yet, but I'm very cautious of this area. I have about another maybe 43 pips to go before we might hit a kind of a resistance level. So again, I'm watching this closely. The trade is already safe. Now the question is really whether or not should I close off the trade and wait for the short that I would rather much prefer to be in. All right, so this is actually also a follow the trading strategy setup. So I'm going to just call it and say that, okay, if price dips below daily pivot, I'm just closing everything and just wait out for the short entry, which I would much rather prefer. Aussie Kiwi, you can see very, very bearish for quite a bit of time. Now, what am I looking for? I'm looking to see whether there is a break of this level over here. All right. So this is a 1.04. I think somewhere around 1.04 level. I'm quite curious about this because you can see that price is really very close to the dotted white line, which is kind of like a horizontal area. You can see that it's been tested all the way since 2014. So my question then is there room to hit short towards that area, the S1, and whether or not it'll break below or whether or not it'll reverse. So I'm not looking to jump in the Aussie Kiwi like absolutely now. I'm just waiting to see whether we can catch it on the way back up. All right. I don't know when will happen because fundamentally I'm still bearish on the Aussie and bullish on the Kiwi. So we might see a lot of consolidation happening at the bottom over here. But what it also means is I have about maybe 30 pips before I hit some kind of support level. So I'm just watching it, but I'm not going to risk I'm not going to risk it for 30 pips. It's not sufficient, you know. So because I think consolidation is going to happen for a while over here, but what is worth watching is worth watching if anything was to change within the next 1 or 2 weeks, whether or not you know, we could see a bounce of whether the Australian central bank will decide to do anything that pushes their currency up by a bit. So it's a wait and see for the Aussie Kiwi. Aussie dollar, we have taken it short. Now, do we continue going long? Again, I'm very reluctant to go long. I have I have went long on a little small trade. I think the Monday or Tuesday, I can't remember. But now it looks like it's heading back down. So I do have price kind of testing this level over here, and I do have a RSI indicator that came. So as long as price is below the moving average, 15 moving average over here, I am going to wait for a short position, or I've already put in a small risk on the short position, and my aim is to really see whether I can get safe as fast as possible. Okay, and what I have gotten is I have gotten this price action over here. So I usually prefer to do the lower highs, which I think it's a double top here, and then kind of a lower high motion over here, and it's not really quite a high, but what I do see is price coming back, rejecting off the daily pivot and heading back down. So I am capitalizing on this this price action by trying to see if price can get me to DS1 for me to save the entry by moving stop loss to entry, and then whether or not it can go all the way here for a preferred TP level. And ultimately, I do hope to get back somewhere to maybe DS2 or MS1. So these are my other targets that I'm seeing. I'm waiting to see whether we can get back to. So weekly chart is like that. I do like the look of it because this might be retracement, right? So we have the red candle, we have the retracement, we have a couple of small candles, retracement, big red candle, big pullback. And again, the probability still for me is to trade this to the downside. I do not think it's a reversal as of now. The dollar has been quite bullish recently. But the dollar has been pulling back as well. So maybe it's a round of profit taking. Maybe that people are waiting for things to happen at Jackson Hole. I don't know. But just a little bit more cautious with the awareness that I think Jackson Hole is this weekend. So I do hope to end this Aussie dollar trade before the weekend, before the Jackson Hole, because I don't want to wake up to a surprise on Monday. Jackson Hole is this weekend, right? Let me just double check. Jackson Hole Symposium, August 2021. Okay, so the agenda is going to be published. It's published somewhere. Okay, Friday. Okay, so I think technically I would hope to be out of this Aussie dollar trade by end of today, because Jackson Hole is this Friday. Yep, is this Friday at 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. What's that in Singapore time? I also not sure. I'll leave Lloyd to figure that out. 7 p.m. Central Time and 8 p.m. ET. Okay, I don't know what time is that. Okay, Lloyd will help me see what time is that. The full agenda will actually be posted during the time. Let me just share this little. This is kansascityfed.org. So it says here the program's full agenda will be available on this website at 7 p.m. CT, 8 p.m. ET. So I will want to take a look at the agenda when they release it. I'm not sure if there's anything that will be interesting, but if there are any interesting comments about monetary policy or interest rate, then I think this might give some kind of clearer direction of where the US dollar will go. So I'd rather look at that report first before jumping in on any more US dollar trades. So, yep. At the moment, it seems to be, at the moment, the Aussie dollar seems to be going in this direction, but I think I'm just going to exit, probably exit at the next low over here just to be safe. And let's look for a non-dollar based currency. Let's see, what do I like? Swiss yen, I'm still looking for longs, but monthly pivot is just at the top, and I've got 4 days to the end of the month, so it's not my favorite pair at the moment, but I'm still watching it. I think Euro Yen, Euro, is this Euro Aussie should be interesting. I think I heard Lloyd talking about it earlier, but a position in Euro Aussie will be interesting because I do see what he sees, and on the shorter time frame as well, we do kind of have a potential so-called reversal to the upside. So price is already going upwards today. If tomorrow gives us a daily pivot step up, I would probably take an entry on the euro dollar long. Other than that, I don't have an entry right now. But I do have a oversold indicator that popped up, but it's not the full indicator. As you can see, I only have the WPR4, but my RSI2 has not touched it yet. So I got no rule that will allow me to enter here. And if I've got no rule to allow me to enter, I've got to wait for the setup to appear. And that will have to be tomorrow. If it can bounce off the daily pivot, it will be great. Euro Swiss, I'm looking for shorts Euro Swiss. You can see on the daily time frame, the big picture still looks heavy. So we have, you know, this move that's been happening. This might be a retracement move, so I'm waiting to see if I can catch the end of this retracement, maybe at WR1, maybe at monthly pivot, maybe at 50 EMA, I don't know. So we will see whether we can catch this, the end of this retracement to take it back to the downside. So I am just going to follow the big trend on this one. I'm not going to rewrite. I mean, the trend will end when the trend ends, so I'm just going to follow as best as I can. Again, on the weekly time frame, it's been trending towards the downside for many weeks. All right. Again, I don't see anything that says we're due for a reversal yet. So I'm just going to trade it like just based on a fundamental bias and wait for the technical setups. Again, I've got no reason to enter now. Unless, do I have a double top here? Let me see. This is euro pound. Let's see if I've got a double top over here. I don't really have a double top over here as well. Yeah, so I can't really find a way into this. So I'm still watching. Let's see if it rejects off this area, or ideally, I think there is a chance that we can catch it over here nearer to WR1 on the bigger time frames. I'm not sure if it will come back all the way here, but I guess it's a possibility. We'll see how that goes. I think the other pair I was looking at is euro pound. Euro pound looks a little bit more cheerful, I would say, because on the daily time frame we already have daily time frame, I already have a higher low, sort of. All right, we can see price has gone up the last week, come back down and tested the weekly pivot this week, and is very close to monthly pivot again. Because it's very close to monthly pivot, I don't know whether the monthly pivot will hold its structure. So if we look at the hourly time frame, my question is, can I get past monthly pivot? So I think I'll wait for a confirmation, which is for price to kind of ding dong here, maybe catch it again at the trend line, and we'll see whether I want to see whether this trend line holds and whether I get a strong enough momentum to break this monthly pivot. So price might be consolidating. All right, so I don't want to enter too early, so we still have time. So I'm going to wait for euro pound, but I would prefer to take euro pound long, just based on just based on the bigger picture. All right, no fundamental bias for this, but just based on the bigger picture that we have hit MS1 at the bottom, price has come up quite a bit. We are retracing. We have consolidation on the daily time frame. So a breakout is due somewhere. Okay, it's either price will consolidate and break up here, or price will consolidate and break out here. So if it goes here, I do hope to catch it when it breaks out to the top. We are still very far from the breakout at the bottom, so I won't focus on that until price gets nearer to that. So this is for the H1. So I've got my trend lines there. We'll see whether it gets, but I think there's going to be a lot more consolidation. We'll see where this goes. I think prices are not doing very fantastically well today. Same with oil. I mentioned that I like to trade oil away from the daily pivots. All right, just a very simple. And I kind of got this from Peng Ni's technique. All right, I don't know if you heard about him, but he's the young oil guy that we have, and he does the 15 minutes on oil. But I'm not so adventurous. I do the 1 hour, and I just do away from daily pivot. Now, if I look at daily pivot now on oil, it's sticky, right? It's sticky, meaning that the last couple of hours price is sticking here. So what I do think is there might be a bigger pullback on oil, especially fundamentally. There is no reason for oil to go up because travel still hasn't opened yet. I think fundamentally there is still a bit more downside for oil. So I will wait and see whether price breaks below the daily pivot, whether it retests the daily pivot, and then we can see whether we take it to the next level. So I'm just trading oil very structurally, trading it from support to resistance, resistance to support, stuff like that. So we'll see whether this plays out. But again, oil will probably only move nearer to the US timing. We'll see later 6-7 o'clock whether it gives me that price action that I want, and then that's where I would prefer to enter it on. Let's look at what's Euro Kiwi doing. Euro Kiwi, I was hoping to get a short trade, but I think there's nothing to trade off from. I was hoping to catch a short trade from monthly pivot, but price hasn't reached there yet. And again, I'm bullish the Kiwi, so I'm comfortable taking any Kiwi, anything that gives me a bullish Kiwi bias. On the daily time frame, I think price has come up off, I think Lloyd's previous level when we were looking at it was last week, was here. So price has come off, and what I do see is bounce off monthly pivot, and I'm wondering whether it can hit towards the downside. But again, we have only 4-5 days to the end of the month, so I'm a little bit more cautious in the trades I pick now. I don't want to just jump into it just on the hopes that something will happen. If I can't see any clarity, I'd rather not take it. So again, price has been sticking on the daily pivot for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hours. The last 10 hours, price is just sticky. And when price is sticking to the daily pivot, I'm very reluctant to enter so early because it might be breaking out somewhere and I don't want to be caught on the wrong side of it. So unless I'm clear where it's going, or I can find a reason to enter cleanly, if not, it's just a wait and see. All right. I prefer to go short, but I can't quite tell because the daily pivot, the daily time frame looks iffy. It's very middle of nowhere, which was the mistake I made for pound Kiwi. So I just want to flash my pound Kiwi. So my pound Kiwi trade, I was holding on to the shorts. I'm still holding on to it. And then this morning I woke up early and I thought, hey, let's scale in again. And I think I scaled in on, let me see. Let me show you guys my mistake. This might also be a finable offense if I'm not wrong. I think it's a finable offense. So Lord, I think I owe you $1. I entered, I look at it, right, and I don't even know why I entered. So I think this is worth $1 fine. I did break a rule here, and now I'm trying to figure out how to get myself out of this mess. So I have a I have a sell trade here. And I think I entered it late last night. If I'm not wrong, I entered on this engulfing bar, but if you look at it, it is bouncing off absolutely nothing. I have no idea why I entered. I have no idea why I wanted to. Hey, I see an engulfing bar and I enter. So, okay, I owe like $1 for for this. Darn it.
Was it a trend line over there?
It's not a clean one. It's not.
If you adjust your current trend line, no,
I'm on the 30-minute actually, because I did kind of scale down a time frame.
oh.
Yeah, so I think I went down to the 30 minutes and I was trying to find the entry in somewhere here, but yeah, I normally wouldn't have entered like that lah. It's a quite an ugly entry, so I'm stuck with this to kind of figure out whether I can break even the trade and reset my brain, or do I have to wait until it hits my stop loss? So yeah, if price can just go down to my entry, I'm just going to close it and just leave it break even, because this is a mistake lah. Whether or not it goes further down, I'm not happy with the entry. I think I would rather come out of the entry as earlier as possible if I can. So this was my mistake on the pound Kiwi. Well, we all make one of these.
I'm wondering, but straight away when you share that screen, right, I'm wondering if you, at that point of time, is it because of this that you saw?
Yeah, I think so. But again, it's one of those like I feel that based on rules, right? I don't have a rule that lets me trade like that. You get what I mean? Yeah, okay. Because price does price does touch trend lines and move away from it, but it has to come with a set of, like I say, it's a probability, right? So if I have number one, I got trend line giving me a signal. Number two, I must have something. Number three, I must have something. So the rules have to give me the probability to tell me that this will have an edge. And with that probability, then I'll have to have, okay, where do I TP? So I think the only thing I saw was that line, and I just took it without considering where do I want to exit. And if we, like how we looked at the daily time frame, it really is in the middle of nowhere. It might or might not go to the bottom. So I've got very little room for very little legs to hit to the bottom. So I think this was I think this is a genuine mistake. Like I got excited with my fantastic results the last month, and I decided to just whack. And this is something that happens to me a lot, right? I don't know whether it happens to you guys, but my problem always happens when I have a really good couple of days or weeks, and then I get a bit reckless because I'm feeling on top of the world. So, all right, $1. I will make sure it doesn't happen again. I'll try my best. All right, so we'll see how I can salvage the pound Kiwi, and let's move on to finding something else. Let me see. Pound Aussie. I am interested in pound Aussie. I'm interested in pound Aussie. Let me see. But not yet. Okay, I can show you why I'm interested in pound Aussie, but I don't think it's like ripe. It's still brewing. It's not ripe yet. Let me go away from. Let's go to the pound Aussie. Okay, pound Aussie. This is the monthly time frame. Monthly, yeah. So on the monthly time frame, I have this level over here. Okay, I have this level over here. This is my monthly time frame. So when I scroll into the weekly time frame, all right, weekly time frame, I have this level over here. Just use this trend line to draw is easier. I have this level over here. Okay, and then daily time frame, price has hit MR1, rejected off this level and come back down over here. So I'm actually waiting for a reversal trade because I have an RSI indicator that popped off. This is, let me put a line there so I can see which date. Okay, change it to red because this is a oversold. So I want to go short. So don't confuse myself. Or orange so it's easy to see. Okay, so orange line over here because I want to go short. Let me see if it fulfills. This was actually about 4 days ago, which might have expired already. Yeah, so this trade has kind of expired, which means I should have gotten into it maybe on Monday. Today is Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday. I should have gotten it on Tuesday, but I missed it. So I think I can't use the RSI to enter. But what can I use to enter? Actually, I can just use a standard wave rider trade. So I'm going to just enter it like a standard wave rider trade. If the 4 p.m. I end off with a bearish candle over here, bearish engulfing bar. Okay, I'm going to see if I can take it another 37 pips, which is fine with me. I do like at least 1:1 to the bottom over here. On the bigger picture, we had yesterday was like it looks like a continuation pause, right? Today we don't have a nice big green candle, so it looks like a lot of indecision. So what I am hoping is for price to give me this exhaustion level, and once price is exhausted and consolidated, it will continue to go downward. So I'm hoping to see whether I can trade it all the way down here, the next previous low. And yep, so we'll wait and see if that turns out. But again, this one I'm going to put on small risk. All right, because at the back of my brain, I still feel that Aussie is heavy. All right. So sometimes the fundamentals do mess up the way I trade a little bit, because if the back of my head, I am more, I do prefer Aussie shorts. Sometimes it's really hard for me to enter things that are opposite, because then I just have to kind of ignore the fundamentals here. So this is a very this is one of the struggles I have with myself when I'm trying to argue with myself about trades. How do I rectify that? I just trade technically. I ignore the fundamentals. So I'm ignoring my bias for the Aussie for this. I'm just going to trade it like a wave rider trade. Take it like a probability trade in terms of follow the strategy. Exit when I'm enter when I'm supposed to enter, exit when I'm supposed to exit, and then that's it. end game. So I will not hold this one. All right. So I will not hold for 1:2, 1:3. I'm just going to be happy with 1:1, 1:1.5. Exit at the bottom of the lows here, and I'll be happy with that. So this is a short pound Aussie trade. And of course, if price hits above this level over here, then I will be stopped out. All right. So this is yeah, I think it's at least a 1:1. So as long as 1:1, I'm just going to take it for 4 p.m. I think that's all I have. Nothing fantastic to jump in on. Everything else is like in a weird place that it's either against fundamentally what I want to trade, or I already have made some mistakes, or I have no idea where it's going to go. So I think we're entering the end of the week, of the end of the month. Maybe things are being a little bit in. I think I see a lot of indecision in the market. Okay, a lot of small candles today, the first half of the day, no clear direction, a lot of consolidation. So I think today is one of the days where I probably might not even trade the US market. It just looks very big question mark. So I see a big question mark. I'm just going to, I think, keep my account safe and just watch. And I don't think if I can fix my pound Kiwi, I'll fix it. But other than that, I don't think I'm very keen to jump in on any new trades today. There's not enough clarity. It's just very messy. I don't know if you feel the same, but today's chart looks a little bit like messy. Small candle, big tails.
I don't know, for this week, this is a break-even week for me. So I've actually one winner, two losses already. Yeah. So my winner that's at the start of the week, pound caps, was a 2.5 win. Then the two losses actually negates it already. So not that it really affects me anymore, but truth to be told is that at today 5 p.m. will be the last opportunity that I enter trade for me as myself as a swing trader. Simply because I'm quite reluctant to trade straight into Jackson's hole. I don't know how big of a hole it will be at the end of the day, whether it will blow a hole in my pocket or it will send me up to the sky, but I have no appetite to actually find out. Yeah, I'd rather just trade on a much more predictable manner. Yeah. So I'm saying that.
Kind of agree with you.
Yeah, especially I think it's more dangerous for you for the lower time frame, because at least for H4, if it gets, I mean, what's the worst that can happen to me? I mean, I might possibly lose 2 to 3% if it really gets that big. But if I lose 2 to 3% on a H4 trade, or the H1 is possibly between a 6 to 8% loss for you.
Yeah, correct. So no, I don't want that. So I think you're right. I think my reluctance to trade even the US market tonight translate into I probably will close out whatever trades I have, take the profit, and have a holiday tomorrow without worrying about the trades. Yeah, I don't think I'll trade tomorrow as well. It's just so uncertain. And on my shorter time frame, whatever I enter tomorrow, I'll know the answer by tonight. If not, I'm going to be in trouble on Monday. So no point sleeping over that kind of stress. I'm just going to manage the trades today, and then I think I'm done for day. Today is my last trading day, I think, for the week.
Yeah, so I agree for any of you who are there who's trading a shorter time frame, set off a cutoff limit, because it's easier for the shorter time frame to achieve partial take profit compared to swing traders like me. Yeah, because even if I enter on 5 p.m., that means by tomorrow 5 p.m., if I don't get into any sort of profit, I will still close my trade. Yeah. And at least that's my game plan now.
Yeah, and the pound Aussie that I was looking at, again, just as we are talking about it, it really doesn't look very fantastic, and why I say that is because I don't like things like that, the long tail. So it's like, yes, we do have a bearish engulfing body, but this tail here annoys me, because what the tail tells me is that there are sellers holding here. So there's a bunch of sellers here giving me the tail, and it makes me question momentum. Do I really have enough momentum to get down here? I'm not sure. Looking at the tail, I'm not sure. If I've got no tail, I'm a lot more confident. If price ends off without a tail, I'm a lot more confident. But this tail doesn't look good. So we'll see where it is by 4 o'clock. If the tail is still too long for my liking, I'm just going to skip. If I have a nicer bottom here, I'll just take a 1:1 and be out by tonight. Then this will be my last trade of the day if it does set up according to how I like it.
All right. So with that, let me share with you something else. I don't want to share any more analysis because I don't really see a point doing so. Yeah. How do I put it? Disclaimer, I don't know whether this is legal or not. Yeah, so you can actually go to YouTube and type trader audiobook, and you do actually get a bunch of audiobooks out there. Yeah, I don't know whether these are legal or not. Okay, but for those of you who want to have some background noise or check out some books, this is where you can go for it. Yeah, especially for books that's dealing with psychology. Mark Douglas. I've read them word for word. I find it very, very tough to digest. Yeah. So, and I actually need to reread them several times to get the same meaning. These people are probably traders, they are not writers. So the way they try to get their words across is actually sometimes quite tough to digest. But I would still think it's still a good resource. And then the next one, which I myself actually treat it as a radio when I'm playing games, is you can actually go for this YouTube channel, Chat with Traders. Yes, Chat with Traders. Yeah, so under their videos playlist, these are all the different successful traders who Chat with Traders have done a interview with them. Yeah. So some of them I don't watch all, only those that I'm personally interested at. So I think it serves a good radio background sound. Then the last one, which
Good resources.
yeah, but personally I really like Chat with Traders. Yeah, it's quite down to earth, to the point. There's no selling involved. I think they have a podcast at Spotify. If for those of you who have Spotify, you can actually swing over to that. Then the last part is there was a period of time I really nothing better to do. Anything that's free, actually I'll go sign up. Yeah. Especially I'm very, very lazy. I don't really keep a very detailed journal. So Trader View is actually one of them that you can actually try it out. They have a free version, which is $0. Yeah, can journal. Rarely I get up to 100 trades a month. So it's actually enough for my own consumption. I don't know for those lower time frame traders. So basic journaling, basic reporting, yeah, which I think is useful. You can actually export out the MP4 data and it will still read it.
Does it link to your MT4, this one?
I think you have to export. Last time I had to export. Now they have been acquired by Oenda, so I don't know whether their functionality actually improves or not. Maybe it can link nowadays, but yeah, since it's free, actually go sign and try it out.
Cool.
Yeah. Because they have more features if you pay for it. Like now they have auto import. So yeah, and not all this is really they have this analytics function whereby actually analyze your trade and tell you, provided you trade consistently. So the analytics function actually tells you that you're actually more profitable at which time of day, so on and so forth. Yeah, so which I think may be interesting, especially for day traders who trade at a particular period of time. Yeah. So that's where the AI analytics comes in. All right, so with that today, we'll actually end the show early. Yeah, because we'll just trade the top. We don't really want to trade through Jackson Hole, so I don't want to plug with too much non-essential analysis, which
non-essential.
Yeah, because if I don't really want to trade through Jackson Hole, I don't want to just keep on analyzing something for the sake of analyzing just to fill out the time. Yeah.
I mean, it was funny you said non-essential, like like COVID non-essential.
I can go through tons of analysis if you all want me to do that, but I can frankly tell you that I will probably not trade any of them. Yeah. For today, the 5 p.m. All right, so with that, thank you for joining us this Thursday, and Alexis and I will be back next Monday and Tuesday, and then we'll be handing it over to Jeff and Ash. All right.